are the gift providing a second life. We are the gift of life. Since 1999, we saved over 2,700 lives. For many patients with blood cancer, bone marrow donation is often their last hope, and that's where we come in. We try hard at what we do, but we will never be satisfied until we can say, one day, we found a match anytime, anywhere, for anyone. That's the gift of life way. So now we have the scissors, we've opened the box, and now it's time to unwrap the gift of life. Hello everyone, and welcome to our 7th show. Wow. Last week was the touchdown. This week it's the extra point. I tell you, where did the summer go? We're so glad our listeners choose to spend these afternoons with us. For those who have been our supporters these past few weeks, welcome on back. And we thank you for all you've done to spread awareness and transpire action for our show, and more importantly for our cause. And for those lucky people who are tuning in for the first time, we're so glad that you could join us for Gift of Life with Gregg, the #1 rated bone marrow show, and the #1 rated show on our flagship station, WWNN 1470. We broadcast live from Boca Raton, Florida, every Tuesday evening from 4 to 5 p.m., here again on our flagship station, WWNN 1470. Today's show is going to be all about second chances, and it's going to be interesting for our listening audience to see where people stand on this very polarizing topic. For those of you who tuned in last week, for those of you who called in, or for those of you who may have donated to our donor circle called The Show, we thank you so very much. All donations are directly allocated towards Sammy, the little girl we are desperately trying to save. And Barry, you know we certainly are going to save her.
Absolutely.
Sammy has a fatal illness called Fanconi anemia. And with our help, more importantly with your help, we could find her the life-saving bone marrow match she desperately needs. These past few weeks, we've seen how wonderful she is, but we've also seen, and again I mention this every week, firsthand how dire her situation is. Thank you, listeners, a sincere thank you for taking part in her life-saving actions to save Sammy's life. But as you know, there's still work to be done. So let's continue it, let's donate, let's get the word out, and let's save her. Also, last week, for those that listened, our founder, Jane Feinberg, came on. And he shared his tremendous story. He had tremendous odds stacked against him, but his family and himself persevered, and they received a second chance at life. From that, more Friends of Jay, and eventually Gift of Life, which has been responsible for saving over 2,800 lives to date.
Wow.
Incredible, right, Freddie? We want to say hi to Freddie on the other side of the glass. So let's get this party started. We have a great show for everybody today. If you're joining us again for the first time, I'm Gregg Francis, and welcome to our show. We encourage our listeners to call in at any time at 1-888-565-1470. Again, that's 1-888-565-1470. If you're inspired by what we do, if we motivate you to celebrate life, call us because we want to hear it. So please call into our show today, along with my co-host, Angry Barry Kaplan. Say hi, BK.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here today.
It's great to have you, BK. And this week, our other co-host, Leora Lieberman, is on special assignment for the Gift of Life with Gregg. We're here to spread awareness about the Gift of Life Bone Marrow Foundation, located in Boca Raton, right at 800 Yamato Road, a life-saving nonprofit that gives patients like Sammy a second chance at life. We want to remind everyone of how special life is, and I'm going to repeat that every day. If you could walk, talk, see, hear, breathe, smile, spend time with family and friends, you're a very, very lucky and healthy individual. Before I go any further, this is a staple of mine. I have to thank my own gifts of life. People who make me smile every day and remind me of how lucky I am. To undoubtedly my biggest fan, my mom, Kate, who I believe is in Boynton Beach today. Mom, I love you, and we made it through 6, and we're going to make it through 7. To my biggest fan right outside of Baltimore, Maryland, hello and thank you, Grandma Margie. And to my 2 boys, the loves of my life, Nicholas and Patrick, who are 11 and 7 years old. Boys, I hope that you're enjoying school, and we're going to play some soccer this weekend. So let's have a great show. Take it away, BK.
All right, we got some housekeeping to do, a couple little details we got. First and foremost, I want to welcome into the world little baby Eric. Eric is the newborn son of our development director over at Gift of Life, Marty. And Marty, I gotta say, is one of the funniest, nicest people in the office. I can't get enough of Marty. And
sharp as a tack.
Sharp as a tack. She's another one of those cases where she went to law school, got her JD, I believe, right?
Yeah, she got her JD from University of Miami.
And wouldn't you know it, she got involved in Gift of Life and said, enough of that.
That's the law school theme. And I also want to say a very big congratulations to her husband, George, and to her oldest son, Georgie. Congratulations on your little brother.
Yeah, congrats all around for that. Some events we got coming up. First and foremost, we got the Funtastic Family Festival. Let me just... I gotta read this for you guys, bear with me. We're gonna have a Funtastic Family Festival on Saturday, September 6th. It's gonna be from 4 to 8 p.m., and it will be located in the Fountain Center, which is at 7000 West Camino Real, Boca Raton.
Yeah, actually, the little girl that we've been speaking about for the past month and a half, Sammy, is gonna be there.
Really? She will be there?
She will be there with her family. I'm gonna be there with my children.
Oh, excellent. Well, if you listeners are listening to this right now and you say, hey, I want a fun thing to do this coming Saturday from 4 to 8 p.m., you should you turn up your dial right now, because this is a really interesting event we got going on. Again, it's located at Fountain Center at 7000 West Camino Real in Boca Raton. That's on Power Line just south of Palmetto Road. And that'll be from 4 to 8 p.m. And there's a ton of different activities we got. Some really fun stuff. What do I got here? We're gonna have juggling. We'll have a magician. We're gonna have a puppet show, face painting, arts and crafts, bounce houses, games, and food, and more, even more than that, apparently.
I think we have an artisan balloon maker, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what? You beat me to it. We have an artisan balloon maker. I prefer to call him artesian, but...
Artesian does sound a little nicer, but nonetheless, we have the top-of-the-line balloon maker.
I think artesian's only for certain types of water wells.
It is water wells, but if you want to call it artesian, Barry, go right ahead.
This guy is a master, all right? His name is Bobby from Balloon Masters, spelled with a Z. Balloon Masters. There's going to be a grand finale. He's going to perform his novelty act, where he escapes from a giant whoopee balloon.
So Bobby the Balloon Masters with a Z.
Bobby the Balloon Masters with a Z. We're also going to have a magic show with some comedy in it, and an unbelievable juggling show, and some interactive experiences as well, strolling puppetry and incredible wearable creations.
Jenna, our event planner, did a great job with this, because if you're going to go, sometimes when you take your child to the circus or an event, they're bored within 20 minutes. They're not going to be bored for the whole 4 hours that this event is going on. There's so many different activities that you could partake in, and I believe the only thing that's not covered is the food. Everything else...
Yeah, I was about to say...
I'm sorry.
No, stop. Please. When you go to these events, they always, once you get in the door, they'll nickel and dime you for every little thing. It is so frustrating, so annoying. The great thing about this event is that everything except the food is included in the price. It's only $10 for admission. Children 2 and under can come free. And might I recommend, Barry's recommendation for everyone listening to this and is interested in purchasing a ticket, skip the line, buy online, and save some time. Go to www.giftoflife.org and purchase your ticket today. Again, that's www.giftoflife.org. Or you can call Jenna at 1-800-9-MARROW. Call 1-800-9-MARROW, ask for our friend Jenna. She'll help you out and get you set up to go to the Funtastic Family Festival. Again, the Funtastic Family Festival, Saturday, September 6th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., located on West Camino Real, on Power Line just south of Palmetto Road.
And one last thing, a lot of our callers over the past couple of weeks asked us, Barry, Leora, Greg, where could I swab? And I believe that we're going to have a swabbing station at this event.
We will have a swabbing station at this event. That's a great question. If you do want to join the registry, by all means come out to this event. You can not only join the registry, but you can also have a really fun family evening.
And learn about what we do, but most importantly, it's a day to celebrate with your family, have fun, enjoy. This coming weekend is Labor Day weekend, so I believe it's a week from Saturday. Is that right, Barry?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, and for those people that are just listening, this is Gift of Life with Greg. If you'd like to call in today, it's 1-888-565-1470.
So that's the Funtastic Family Festival. Looks like a really fun time, a great family event. We also got another event coming up. It's going to be the Strikes for Life bowling tournament.
I think this is our second one, BK.
Our second Strikes for Life bowling tournament. Now, our last Strikes for Life was a blast, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had about 40 bowlers, and we had a 300, which is a perfect game. We had a few 290s, and the actual final game was a tie. We had to go into a roll-off.
It's funny because you don't go into it planning the bowling tournament thinking like, oh, we're going to have a perfect 300 game, we're going to have a tie at the end. You're not thinking like, oh, this is all going to happen. You're thinking, oh, it's just going to be another bowling tournament. Yeah,
that it would just be fun, that we would get our word out, which we did, and it raised quite a bit of money. I believe it was well over $3,000, which is great for a first bowling tournament. But you would have all the excitement of a PBA tour. Going into the final game itself, there was an absolute tie. And
we had a crowd of people.
We had a crowd of people that actually stayed the whole day. Again, the winner for our inaugural tournament was Brian Mulholland, which I'm hoping that could give me some lessons. We're going to start bowling together with our Gift of Life team a week from Thursday.
The guy's got an arm of steel.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. But we also like to get out into the community at Gift of Life. In fact, every Thursday evening, we have a Gift of Life bowling team that bowls at Strikes in Boca Raton. So, Barry, when is our second tournament going to be?
The second Strikes for Life bowling tournament is going to be on October 9th, and it's going to be located in the Strikes for Life in Boca Raton on Military Trail, where the last bowling tournament that we had was hosted.
There's only one major thing, Barry, one thing that you and I didn't expect. We had 40 people last tournament. We're expecting 150 this tournament with a top cash prize of $1,500.
Wow. That is a lot of money. And you know what's also great? When you have all these people coming in, you got these side games, these side pots.
We're having brackets, we're having high scratch pots, different 21 lucky 21, all these different types of side games. So even if you're not winning the particular tournament, you're always involved with some side games that are going on, and it's a lot of fun. It keeps the interest up.
Well, more than anything, it gets people who wouldn't normally be involved in the cause to get involved in the cause.
Which is a great thing, and that's really what we have these tournaments about, to get people involved in our cause, to learn about what we do, and really to have a good time. Everybody that was there had a smile on their face, win, lose, or draw. We had a great day, and we had a lot of response, and even people that didn't join our inaugural tournament said, Greg, are you having another one? And with that type of response, we decided we were going to wait 6 to 8 months, but we're doing it right now in October.
How could you wait when people are clamoring for that next tournament?
No, 150 is honestly a good bowling tournament, and everybody knows that it's going to a great cause.
And you know what? Last thing about the bowling tournament before we move on. The last tournament, the prior tournament, we had over half of our prize money given out come back to us in a contribution.
It was actually more than half. I don't want to speak about these people in particular, but the person that won first place gave back half. The gentleman that won third place gave back all. The gentleman that came in second place gave back a significant portion of his winnings. The person that won the 50-50 donated back so we could test a kit on somebody's behalf. It wasn't our expectation, but it was so generous of all the people that got involved.
Well, it was remarkable. People came out thinking, oh, this is going to be a bowling tournament. Maybe I can make a quick buck. If not, I can have some fun. It just goes to show you, if people are giving their money anyways, it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a blast, and it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of excitement. And I encourage everyone, if you're listening now, to come out to Strikes for Life on October 9th for the Strikes for Life bowling tournament hosted by the Gift of Life Bone Marrow Foundation.
Yes, and as we go on, Barry, I just want to introduce two people to our Gift of Life family that started recently. Nate D. Hanley in the recruitment department. Give him a round of applause at Yamato Road. And also my friend the Dominator, Dominic DeMathia, he's in our survey, so welcome to the Gift of Life family.
Nate, Dom, welcome. We're glad to have you guys, and really looking forward to your involvement in the Gift of Life family.
Yeah, and I believe that Nate said at a certain point he wants to come on the show. He has a great radio voice for those.
Oh my God, so sonorous.
So sonorous.
So let's talk about last Wednesday. You and our co-host Leora Lieberman, who's on special assignment right now, you guys took a flight out to Chicago. Why don't you tell us about your trip to Chicago, Greg?
You want to know something that was incredible, and if our friends from Digitas are listening, I want to say hello and thank you. We're all working together to try to save little Sammy's life. She's the 6-year-old little girl that's suffering right now with Fanconi anemia. And what we try to do is compile our resources, what Gift of Life does in orchestrating drives and trying to orchestrate matches. And what Digitas tried to do is really put together a robust public relations platform for us to get the word out. So they're going to drive traffic to us. What we're going to try to do is really put together a drive that will exercise fundamentals of Sammy's ethnicities, So what we're going to do is have a strategic approach on how to best find people that may be a match for her. But again, having external influences that could bring more people to our website, learn more about our causes, I think it's a synergistic relationship that's going to end up with people, not only Sammy, but other people being saved.
Let's take a call real quick before we take our first break. Laura, you are on the air. Laura?
Hello.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Laura?
Hi, Laura. Thank you for calling the show.
You're welcome. I've been listening to your radio show, and it seems so interesting. I'm just wondering how the little girl Sammy is doing.
Greg, why don't you tell her how Sammy's doing?
Sammy had just started school. I believe it was on August 18th, and she seems to be doing real well. I've been in constant contact with her family, and she seems to be doing fine. Again, we're not naive to the sense that she needs a match, but she's going to be coming along with her sisters and her family to the event that Barry spoke about, our Fantastic Family Festival on Saturday, September 6th. But all in all, she's enjoying school, and she's doing okay. Yes, there's work that has to be done to try to save her, but she's doing all right. She's plugging along and still loves Katy Perry and still loves her animals. So, I speak to the family a few times a week, and everything is going as best it could.
Good. And what does it mean that she's looking for a match? What does that mean?
Well, that means that Sammy has a specific tissue type. It's a sequence of genomes. This is getting a little too scientific.
Yeah, it's layman's terms.
It's layman's terms. It's basically a code that we need to find someone who has the matching code in their tissue, and so Sammy can get a transplant, and hopefully what will happen is we'll transplant someone else's bone marrow into Sammy's body, and that bone marrow will be accepted by the immune system and grow and start producing the red blood cells and white blood cells and platelets that Sammy needs to survive and live a healthy and happy life.
So that's why, Laura, when you called, what we're trying to do, we have a pretty good grasp of what Sammy's ethnic background is.
Okay.
And again, she has a mixed background. So what we're trying to do, along with Digitas, is target drives where people of those same ethnicities are. So we're going to have two approaches. One is an overarching approach where we could get as many young, healthy, willing, available donors as possible. And number two, we're going to cater some drives around her ethnic background. So we have a bifurcated approach.
So when the background is mixed, it's much harder?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Laura. It's much more difficult, and there are a couple reasons surrounding that. It gets quite technical, but right now, as we see it, the representation of the Worldwide Registry, the lowest representation that is on there, is that of the mixed race background. So it makes it doubly important to find people of mixed race and add them to the registry so anyone can find a match, especially Sammy.
So for people my age who are interested, I'm 23, so if people my age want to help out, should they help out trying to find those lower represented groups? Is that what they should focus on if they're my age and are willing to volunteer and are willing to help out?
What if they're your age and they're willing to help out either by swabbing or by hosting a drive? I would love them to call 1-800-9-MARROW and to please ask for Bridget. For anybody that's listening, Bridget is at our offices waiting for your call, and she could help you set up a drive in your respective region.
Does Bridget have an extension? Or if I call 1-800-9-MARROW, that's okay, and they'll connect to me.
Just ask for Bridget. Call 1-800-9-MARROW and ask for Bridget, and they'll go ahead and connect you.
I believe that her extension is 2956.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Thanks for your call.
Have a good day.
You too.
You too.
And we got another call. Nick, you're on the line. Nick, you're on the line.
How's it going? This is Nick up from New York.
Nick from New York, how are you, Nick? Thanks for calling the show.
Say hello and see you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
I was just curious too. I wanted to let people know. Obviously, the drives are. I'm not sure if it's been said, but we really want to make it a national thing. So if anyone is listening from up in the Northeast, same thing. I'd love to help out, run some drives, and just wanted to get people that information as well.
Okay, what we do is we have our recruitment staff based into regions, and this is a great call, Nick. So what we do, again, please call up 1-800-9-MARROW, and at that point what will happen is Bridget, again, who's at extension 2956, will get some information as to when you want to run the drive, where you want to run the drive, and you could speak strategically about when you believe that you would have the most traffic, when might be the best time, what type of marketing tools that you would need, and we would go over best practices. And whatever questions that you have and whatever training you need, we will certainly afford you.
Okay, sounds good.
Nick, thanks so much for your call. If there's anything else that we can help you with, please give us another call back, 888-565-1470.
Okay, thanks so much, guys.
Thank you, Nick.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, we're going to start talking a little bit about some other things, but until then, let's take that quick commercial break.
ThrowItBetter.com. Do you need help with your bowling game? Are you taking the right 5-step approach? If you want to become a competitive bowler, even a recreational bowler that's considering joining a league, or a league bowler that's considering joining a tournament, you need to see Vince. He's going to show you how to throw it better. He'll get you the right equipment, he'll show you the right approach, and as a certified coach himself, he'll put you in the best position to succeed. If you're interested, please visit Vince at throwitbetter.com and tell him that Gregg sent you. Again, that's www.throwitbetter.com. If you own a business and have the need for commercial insurance, I suggest you call Chris Moore of Brown & Brown Insurance in Fort Lauderdale. Chris has been in the commercial insurance business for over 30 years and can handle any company's need for property, general liability, workers' compensation, and automobile, just to name a few. Brown & Brown, being countrywide and the 5th largest agency in the country, gives Chris the tools he needs to meet all your insurance needs. So call Chris at 954-331-1420. Again, that's 954-331-1420. We want to extend a special thanks to our friends at the Boca West Foundation for all the wonderful work they do for Gift of Life and for all the meaningful service they give to the Boca Raton community. For over 3 years, the Boca West Foundation has generously supported local charities in the Boca Raton area. The Boca West Foundation. It's all about the kids. Are you in the market for a health plan? If so, please visit my good friend Gary at Health Plans Unlimited. No plan is too big or too small. Gary will customize a plan that's affordable and comprehensive, just for you. If you're interested, please visit Gary Goldman, the best in the biz, at www.healthplansunlimited.com. Again, that's www.healthplansunlimited.com. Or you can call Gary Goldman directly on his personal line at 954-303-6676. Again, that's 954-303-6676. And tell him that Gregg sent you directly from the Gift of Life. Health Plans Unlimited. We have the health plan for you. Welcome back to the Gift of Life with Gregg, the show that talks about giving and receiving. I'm your co-host, Leora Lieberman, and I'm here with my host, Gregg Francis, and co-host, Barry Kaplan. If you'd like to call into our show, we'd love to hear from you. Please call 888-565-1470. Again, that's 888-565-1470. And now, back to our show.
And we're back with the Gift of Life with Gregg. My name is BK Barry Kaplan. It's a lovely Tuesday. We're here today, and the weekly word of wisdom, something that we started last episode.
That's a great staple you had.
We're gonna continue it. This week's weekly word of wisdom is redemption. And I'm going to take my first stab at redemption because I made a boo-boo, a big mistake. I got a string of texts during the break. The bowling tournament. The bowling tournament is not October 9th, it is October 19th.
So it'll give people an extra 10 days to work on their game.
Exactly, and an extra 10 days to sign up. So again, the bowling tournament, Strikes for Life bowling tournament, is going to be on October 19th.
1-9.
1-9. That's exactly right, Gregg. Again, the weekly word of wisdom is going to be redemption for this week. And Gregg, why don't you tell us a little bit about our weekly word of wisdom and why we came up with it?
Well, it's interesting. I like the idea of the word of wisdom. It helps people with their vocabulary, and Barry, you always teach me a new word or two every week. But at Gift of Life, we always believe in giving people the second chance because they're critically ill, and when they get the second chance, they get the gift of life. So Barry and I normally over lunch, we speak about the topics that are going to be on the show, and one of them that was on the TV when we were talking at lunch marked the 25th anniversary of Pete Rose's ban from Major League Baseball. So we kicked out the topic, is 25 years too long? The thing is, you don't want posthumously to say, you know what, we should have put him back in Major League Baseball. And the reason why he was banned from baseball was the cardinal sin of betting on a Major League game while he was a manager of the Cincinnati Reds. Some people believe that he actually bet against his team, but that was never proven. And other people, he did acknowledge that he bet on his team when they were playing. So I said to Barry, listen, there have been NFL players that have actually killed somebody when they were driving under the influence, and they got a 1-year suspension. This year alone, in 2014, 22 NFL players were arrested, and all of them did not receive a lifetime ban. In basketball, I'm not going to mention the name, but a player actually choked his coach on the floor where they had to be separated, and he eventually received probably about a $50 million contract.
Freddie can't even believe it. He's cracking up. I mean, the list goes on.
No, he knows who the players are. But the question is, for Barry, you and I work in a world of second chances, getting a second chance at life for people that have blood cancer. And the question that I ask, and yes, we're getting a little tangential, but is 25 years for gambling, does the punishment fit the crime? And I printed this out for our listening audience. The rule is Rule 21, misconduct, betting on ball games. any player, umpire, or club or league official or employee, a lot of oars, who shall bet any sum whatsoever upon any baseball game in connection with which the bettor has a duty to perform shall be declared permanently ineligible, end quote. So by the letter of the law, he should never be reinstated. But does the punishment fit the crime? I believe that we have a call in.
Our phones are lighting up on this one. I want to hear what other people think. I have my own beliefs.
Or even it doesn't have to be in the doctrine of sports, but do you believe in giving people second chances, whether it's with relationships, whether it's with jobs?
Let's take a call. Katie, you're on the air.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Katie. How are you? Thank you for calling Gift of Life.
How are you? Thank you. How are you?
We're doing wonderful today.
I heard that you were talking about second chances. I only heard about the half of the part about the sports, which I don't really know as much about, but I just thought it was an interesting spin to the whole topic.
Why don't you share us with us your thoughts, Katie? Do people deserve a second chance?
I'm a very optimistic person, so I definitely think that people deserve a second chance, for sure.
Okay.
The reason, Katie, I don't know if you heard this part. We work in a bone marrow foundation, and our goal is to give people a second chance at life. We were talking about Pete Rose, who was banned from Major League Baseball for betting, and it was the 25th anniversary of his banishment from Major League Baseball, and Barry and I were debating, the merits of the length of that suspension.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that if he was suspended for that long of time, that's a punishment, and then now he should be given a second chance. I think so.
25 years after the fact.
Yeah, 25 years. I know that he's approaching 70 right now, but he wasn't allowed to manage, he wasn't allowed to scout, he wasn't allowed to be affiliated in any which way with Major League Baseball. And dealing with people that got a second chance at life and took advantage of it, I thought that the punishment was too harsh. Maybe he'll never be voted into the Hall of Fame, but that's neither here nor there. So Katie, what's your thought on just in general second chances?
I mean, I definitely think, especially what your organization does. I think it's amazing that you're working to give people second chances, and yeah, I think everybody deserves a second chance, especially if they serve some type of punishment, like what you said, like the 25-year suspension. Then definitely, I think that's a great thing about our society is that a lot of people are given second chances.
No, I appreciate it. Could I ask where you're calling from? Because we've been having calls from all over the place.
Yeah, I'm calling from New York.
All right. Whereabouts in New York?
In Manhattan.
Okay, because reason why I ask, on September the 14th, that's a day before my birthday, my listening audience, we're going to have a walk for life at Eisenhower Park, which is in East Meadow. Are you familiar with Eisenhower Park in East Meadow on Long Island?
I've never heard of it, but I could definitely look it up.
If you look it up, if you'd like to call our office at 1-800-9-MARROW, they could certainly give you directions and show you how to sign up. It's going to be a great event where a donor is going to meet their recipient that saved their life for the very first time. The recipient's going to meet their donor. Yeah, I mean, if that's not tear-jerking, I don't know what is. But it'll be a great event, and it's going to be on Sunday, September 14th, so you have plenty of time to come out. I'll be out there as well, and if you're there, please look for me.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. I will definitely look into it.
Katie, thank you so much for your call, and we really appreciate your listenership, and we look forward to getting future calls from you and hearing more from you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right.
Thank you. Have a great day.
I think we have another caller.
We do have another caller. Greg, why don't you take that one?
Randy, you're on the line.
Hey, Greg, how you doing? Hi, Barry.
Hey, Randy, how's it going, man?
Good, everything's going well. How's Sammy doing? I didn't get to hear. I just got off work. So.
Randy, I know you called. I believe you called before on one of the shows, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, that's Randy. You want to know something? Sammy just started school. I believe that she started first grade on August the 18th. She's, as one of the callers asked before, she's doing quite well. She gets a little fatigued at the end of the day, but she's coming to our event with her family on Sunday, September 6th, or Saturday, September 6th. And, we're going to have swabbing there, but she's doing well, still playing her guitar, still listening to Katy Perry. So I appreciate your calling back into the show and asking, but, she's doing well and started school, and she's definitely going along.
Oh, good. Awesome. So, Pete Rose.
What's your take on that?
I think, listen, I understand what he did was wrong, but I also think, with Major League Baseball, they coined a phrase with him, Charlie Hustle, made him the superstar, and utilized his name and everything for money and everything else. I think they should be separated, because if you look at Babe Ruth with, all his discretion, Mantle with all his discretion, alcohol, womenizing, and everything else, I mean, who should be in the Hall of Fame, who shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame? They all have great stats.
That's a great point.
You want to know something? It's a great point. I stand on the side that 25 years is a little bit too long, and you want to know something? I'll go on record as saying that none of the authorities in Major League Baseball didn't know that PEDs were going on when baseball was in a slump in the 90s. When people were hitting, 60 home runs that maybe hit 15 before in the course of a year. So I tend to agree with you, Randy.
I think everyone turned a blind eye to a lot of things. Whatever made money for the Major League Baseball, same thing with football and everything else. They ran with it. They made their money, and then when somebody got caught cheating or did something wrong, I mean, Pete Rose, I guess, was just a bad gambler and hung around with the wrong guys. That's his main thing. He never got caught.
Randy, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Do you think the MLB was trying to make an example out of Pete Rose?
Well, I think Coon, he was the one that made an example out of him, because if Pete would have just probably came out and said that, you know what, I lied, I did, and boom, 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 he'd probably be in the Hall of Fame today.
Yeah.
Then he tried to hide it and lie to the commissioner and everything, and I think then he was blackballed.
So,
To his face.
So let me ask you a question. Do you believe that he deserves a second chance? And obviously he's about 70 years old, so he's not going to be between the stripes as a player, but as an ambassador, coach, manager, hitting instructor, do you believe that that there's a seat for him on the bus on the game?
If he's willing to teach young kids, have them start a little league and teach them the right ways and ethics and moral ethics and everything about baseball, and show them what you really need to do to be that great person, yes, if he's going to do it. That's where I would start him at first, and then earn his way up.
Yeah, Ken on the other side of the glass maybe doesn't agree with us, but he's vigorously shaking his head no. But Randy, I believe last time.
No, but I mean, that's where I would start if he wanted to be in it. That's where he needs to start for his redemption or whatever. But everyone deserves a second chance. That's what our society's made out of. I mean, our president got caught, and he had a second chance.
There you go.
Oh, well, we're going all over the place. Randy, I believe last time when you called that you said that you lived in the South Florida area?
Correct, in Coral Springs.
Okay, so again, you're very welcome to visit our office, and that's at 800 Yamato Road in Boca Raton. And I don't know if you heard before, we're having an event on Saturday, September 6th between 4 and 8 p.m., which is called the Fantastic Family Festival. So if you're there, I would love to meet you, and I appreciate that you're a second-time caller on the show.
That's right, yeah. I should get in the payroll. No.
Yeah. No, but always you're a friend of the show, so please feel free to call back at any time.
Yes, I wish you guys very well. You guys are doing a great job, great cause. So I wish you well.
Randy, thanks so much for your call. It's put some sunshine in my day. And man, I got a belly laugh out of that one. Listen, Randy, thanks again for the call. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and take our second commercial break now.
Oh, it's flying today.
It is flying today. So we're going to go ahead and take that commercial break. Stick with us. When we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more about whether or not people deserve second chances.
Are you in the market for a health plan? If so, please visit my good friend Gary at Health Plans Unlimited. No plan is too big or too small. Gary will customize a plan that's affordable and comprehensive, just for you. If you're interested, please visit Gary Goldman, the best in the biz, at www.healthplansunlimited.com. Again, that's www.healthplansunlimited.com. Or you can call Gary Goldman directly on his personal line at 954-303-6676. Again, that's 954-303-6676. And tell him that Gregg sent you directly from the Gift of Life. Health Plans Unlimited. We have the health plan for you. ThrowItBetter.com. Do you need help with your bowling game? Are you taking the right 5-step approach? If you want to become a competitive bowler, even a recreational bowler that's considering joining a league, or a league bowler that's considering joining a tournament, you need to see Vince. He's going to show you how to throw it better. He'll get you the right equipment, he'll show you the right approach, and as a certified coach himself, he'll put you in the best position to succeed. If you're interested, please visit Vince at throwitbetter.com and tell him that Gregg sent you. Again, that's www.throwitbetter.com. If you own a business and have the need for commercial insurance, I suggest you call Chris Moore of Brown & Brown Insurance in Fort Lauderdale. Chris has been in the commercial insurance business for over 30 years and can handle any company's need for property, general liability, workers' compensation, and automobile, just to name a few. Brown & Brown, being countrywide and the 5th largest agency in the country, gives Chris the tools he needs to meet all your insurance needs. So call Chris at 954-331-1420. Again, that's 954-331-1420. We want to extend a special thanks to our friends at the Boca West Foundation for all the wonderful work they do for Gift of Life and for all the meaningful service they give to the Boca Raton community. For over 3 years, the Boca West Foundation has generously supported local charities in the Boca Raton area. The Boca West Foundation. It's all about the kids. Welcome back to The Gift of Life with Gregg, the show that talks about giving and receiving. I'm your co-host, Leora Lieberman, and I'm here with my host, Gregg Francis, and co-host, Barry Kaplan. If you'd like to call into our show, we'd love to hear from you. Please call 888-565-1470. Again, that's 888-565-1470. And now, back to our show.
And we're back with The Gift of Life with Gregg. My name is Barry Kaplan, BK Barry Kaplan, and we're back. We're going to take some more calls now. We have a caller on the line named Jack. Jack, you're on the air.
Hey, this is Jack.
Hey, Jack, how are you?
I'm good. I'm once calling about the Cincinnati, Red player who's my favorite player ever, Pete Rose.
Are you from Cincinnati area?
I am. I'm from Clifton. Which is right near Cincinnati, if you're not familiar.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So what's your thought, I guess, on second chances? And this Pete Rose cost a lot of. It got us a lot of calls today. So we've been hearing different opinions. Well, not really different opinions. All believe that he deserves a second chance. So what's your take, Jack?
Well, as someone who's from the area, he's like a hero to people out here. You know, if you're from the area, he's really a guy who people looked up to growing up. So, for me, I love the guy. And he's, my friends, my work colleagues. He's the guy that we all, grew up wanting to be. So, we all here are rooting for him, especially with the new commissioner to get that second chance. And we feel like, he's kind of paid his dues.
You want to know something? I agree, and I don't know if you were listening before, but I don't want it to be done posthumously where, after he perishes that they're going to, allow him to come back in baseball, even use his name on certain teams, because even I believe the apparel has been banned. So you again, Jack, believe that he deserves a second chance. I know that you're a fan.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Let me ask you, Jack, as a fan, as a local, as someone who has grown up hearing about Pete Rose, let me ask you something. What would you want him to do with a second chance? I know we can say we can give him a second chance, but let's say, okay, all of a sudden, right now, 4:46 on Tuesday, April 26th, or August 26th, excuse me, they say, Pete Rose, you're good. You're back in. You're good. What would you, Jack, as such a dedicated fan, what would make your day?
Oh, the first thing I think he would have to do again is apologize. I think for because he lied about it for so long that it's tough for people to forgive that. But I think the first thing you have to do is apologize and then say thank you. Even doing that small thing. There was a big news out here was he broke down crying once. This is back in the 2000s. He broke down crying once at a gala, like a dinner. And for us, he was always known as this tough guy who would never, do something like that. And it was this moment where he was like an honest guy. It was just an honest man who was hurting. And I think to see that side of him would go a long way because it would show people that he, appreciated that second chance and wanted to go and do something else with it. Move forward and really show people that he's come a long way.
And I have a comment and a question. The first comment is Barry and I, as I mentioned before, we always kick around subjects, and one of the pillars of Gift of Life is giving that person the second chance at life. So when this 25th anniversary of his banishment came up, we thought that it would be interesting fodder on how people feel, especially on not only on a personal level for us, but professionally. That's what we attempt to do on a daily basis, granted under certain circumstances. The next question, Jack, is self-serving, and I'm proud to say, had you learned about the show from Cincinnati, Ohio?
I learned about it through some friends who lived in Chicago, and they knew about the marketing company that you guys were working with, so I have some friends who have moved there who are from my town, and they told me about it. They kind of heard about it last 2 days.
Alrighty, so I appreciate it, and again, thank you to our friends at Digitas. But if you're ever interested, Jack, in running a drive, please call up Bridget at 1-800-9-MARROW, and I certainly appreciate you pitching in with your comment on second chances.
It was good timing. First time listener, it's great to hear.
Thank you. Are you enjoying the show?
It's great. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jack. All right, we got another call on the line. We're going to take another call. I believe her name is Chelsea. Chelsea, you're on the line.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you, Chelsea? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Gainesville, Florida.
Home of the Gators, right? College football season's coming.
Home of the Gators.
Chomp, chomp.
Coming up this weekend.
Who are you playing?
It's a good question.
All right.
Chelsea, what do you think of second chances? Have you been listening to our conversation today?
Yes, I do, and I honestly think second chances are a wonderful thing, wonderful, amazing thing for everybody.
Well, I wish my exes thought the same way.
No, but as we said before, and again, not everybody is going to be a baseball fan, although we had quite a few that called in, but do you think 25 years was too long a ban for gambling?
Not necessarily, not for gambling. I'm not a huge fan of gambling, so in that arena, I had to say no.
Well, I gotta ask, Chelsea, because you got people, you hear about this guy who's physically harming his significant other, and he's only getting banned for, what, two games is what? What is that?
2 games after he choked her unconscious.
What, is there a comparison?
Well, it's different sports. One's football, one's baseball. But I guess the overarching question is, Chelsea, so you think second chances are a good thing?
I think second chances are a good thing, but I don't think, as far as banning him from playing, I think he should be held to the same standard as anyone else would be. I don't think that should be taken into consideration as far as,
I don't think an exception should be made for him.
Okay, well, I'm happy that we have one person that wants to keep his lifetime banishment sustained, because right now the majority of people believe that it should be overturned. But
no, you know what? I'm not afraid to say it. I agree with Chelsea. We've been getting so many calls today that I haven't been able to talk about it that much. But yeah, no, Chelsea, I'm right there with you, girl.
All right, and Chelsea, if I could ask you, I know that we have our co-host who's on special assignment today also went to University of Florida. But how do you hear about the show?
I actually heard about it through some of my friends, and I know a few of my friends had called in the past, and they had suggested that I start listening to it, so I kind of got into it that way, and I think you guys are doing a great job.
Well, Chelsea, you got some great friends.
Yeah. And again, living in Gainesville, is it safe to say that you go to the University of Florida?
Yes, it is. I'm working on my master's right now.
Oh, congratulations! In what?
Accounting.
All right, a chip off the old block. I'm a CPA myself, so I say good luck and be careful what you wish for. But no, it's a great accounting school. So good luck with your studies, and please be a friend to the show.
Thank you very much, of course, and I'll spread the word as much as possible.
Thank you so much, and thank you for calling.
Thanks for your call, Chelsea.
Alrighty.
So, I said it over the call. I'll say it again on live air. This whole Pete Rose thing, the guy broke the law.
Yeah.
The guy broke the law. And he had his own, he broke a federal, government law, his state law, and then he also violated the terms of the Major League, of the MLB.
The MLB Players Association. So, yeah, and again, we read it before. Just paraphrasing the last sentence, with which the bettor has a duty to perform shall be declared permanently ineligible.
Yada, yada, yada.
And he's permanently ineligible. But, Barry, I know that our phones lit up today, and there's one thing that I want to put out to our listening audience. And, again, there's very little time left, but it's 1-888-565-1470. And if you want to call us at our office at 800 Yamato Road, it's 1-800-9-MARROW.
Greg, you're about to tell us about something, I think, quite remarkable that's happened over the course of maybe a fortnight?
Not even a fortnight, but I like that word. No, probably about 2 weeks, you're right. I wanted to use that for one of the words of the week, but it's already out on the table. So
what happened, Greg?
Thank you, Bear. Gift of Life Bone Marrow Foundation was awarded a matching gift. For each dollar raised between now and November 1st, 2014, a major philanthropy in New York City will match it by 50%. Now, this match is up to $2 million. If we could all band together and raise $2 million, this philanthropy will give Gift of Life $1 million because they strongly believe in the work that we do and the lives that we save. And, I'm going to parlay this again. We're trying to find our friend Sammy a match. And as Barry mentioned before, we met with what's called the Sammy Squad in Chicago. Leora, who's on special assignment today, and I had a great time. And the Sammy Squad, they're wonderfully bright in spreading the word. Really, it was a lot of fun because I believe that we both had talents and we combined them to fortify our team to find a match for Sammy. So we're desperately going to try to find a match.
A symbiotic relationship, if you will.
Yeah, I love that term. So I'm asking our listening audience to please contribute to www.giftoflife.org/DC/the show, or please call Anita today at 1-800-9-MARROW. She'll be waiting for your call. So again, for each dollar raised, it will be matched by 50%. So, we got to get to it, folks, and we, as I promised our friends in Chicago at Digitas, we're going to save our Sammy.
Well, let me get this straight, Greg. You're telling me we got a 2-for-1 match, basically. So you can get 3 kits for the price of 2.
You could get 3 kits for the price of 2, yes.
That is magnificent. And it starts with our listeners, it starts with our supporters, it starts with that individual person who's going to make that decision to contribute. And Greg, how should people contribute if they'd like to?
They could, the best way to contribute is to call up Anita right now, to go on our website, and there's a red button that's very prominent that says contribute. Freddie just came in right now to our office, and I believe that we have close to 300,000 hits. 300,000. He just said correct. Again, we're the #1 rated show on 1470, but with 300,000 listeners, we should be able to meet this match. So again, Anita's waiting for you. Yes, it's self-serving, but yes, I promise the family that we're going to save this 6-year-old little girl's life and any other patient that comes to us that is suffering from blood cancer.
And it's easy to get involved, people. It's easy to get involved. All you got to do is go to www.giftoflife.org. Again, that's www.giftoflife.org. We got a ton of different material on there. We got stories about Sammy. We got ways that you can run drives. Tons and tons of different material. You can call us up at 1-800-9-MARROW. Again, 1-800-9-MARROW. Or you can join us for some of our events. Again, we're going to have a bowling tournament on October 19th.
That's 1-9.
October 19th at Strikes. Strikes at Boca is basically...
That's what it is, Strikes at Boca. And you got a chance to redeem yourself because the word of the week was...
redemption.
Yes.
It's the Strikes for Life bowling tournament. Or you can join us for the Funtastic Family Festival, Saturday, September 6th. Again, Saturday, September 6th, 4 to 8 p.m.
And we're going to have a artisan balloon maker.
A master balloon maker. His name is Bobby. He's from Balloon Masters.
With a Z. So, alright, Ken on the other side of the glass is waving us that it's time to go. As always, everybody, enjoy your life, enjoy the ability, give somebody a hug this week, have a great time, and don't take things for granted. Barry and I and Leora will be here next week. Until then, have a great week, enjoy the holiday weekend, and God bless you all.
Thanks for tuning in to The Gift of Life with Greg. I wanted to personally say thank you to everyone who participated in today's show. And I also wanted to let you know if that you're interested in what we do here at The Gift of Life, please call 1-800-9-MARROW. That's 1-800-9-MARROW. Or you can visit our website at www.giftoflife.org. Again, that's www.giftoflife.org. Even though we're wrapping up our show today, remember, you must always unwrap the gift of life.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.